Welcome to the Inside Silverstone podcast, a business-focused podcast covering all things tech, engineering and innovation. Hosted by me, Chris Broome, a huge tech, motorsport and gaming fan, and also the owner of Longhurst, a firm of lifestyle financial planners and independent financial advisors located in Silverstone, Northamptonshire. This is a series of unscripted and unpolished conversations with leading business owners, thought leaders and high-tech talent where we discuss their experiences within the Silverstone business and motorsport region. We will also be asking them to share their knowledge, insight and their thoughts on the future just for you. If you're looking to learn more about the Silverstone high growth region and commercially connect with like-minded peers, you've definitely come to the right place. Welcome to Inside Silverstone. Welcome to the next edition of Inside Silverstone. My name is Chris Broome and I'm your host. Today I am delighted to welcome to the show a new friend involved in composites of all things, Sam Hudson from BAMD. Sam, welcome to the show.
Afternoon, Chris. Thanks for having us on.
Pleasure. Always delighted to get others involved who are involved in composites, engineering and all things motorsports. So before I get into the sort of natter about your business and what you guys do, what does BAMD stand for? So this is BAMD. So this is your company name.
BAMD Limited, and it stands for Barnby and Malarkey Designs.
Okay.
The Barnby element comes from our chairman's surname. The Malarkey element comes from his partner's surname.
Yeah.
And the design element that was what he left uni to do. He wanted to set up a design shop, and that was how BAMD was formed 11 years ago. And
the sort of original business sort of focus was classic cars and race teams. So you guys are actually involved in racing. Yeah. So I think when Adam set up the business, he originally planned to go into the boat building industry because he left Coventry University as a boat designer. So I think that was his passion. Yeah.
But he can turn his hands to any element of design. So yeah, when I joined the company around about 9 years ago now, I was the company's first official employee on the books, and we was a classic car firm. So we occupied a little barn conversion in Middleton Cheney, where we had a couple of Porsche 911s. We had an old school 1930s Alvis, and that was my kind of modern day apprenticeship. Really, we started there. So that was. And where are you now? So where's the company based, and what are you guys doing? So now we are at a unit on Upper Hayford, so the disused American Air Force Base. Okay. Just outside Bicester. So we've got four sites or 4 units on this site. The main one we're in at the moment, which is the one that I manage, is the Composites Facility, which is set up of 12 people, 2 autoclaves, full kit cutting facilities, full finishing shop, full trim shop, clean room, air conditioned clean room. And that's where we are at the moment. And we've got two storage facilities who are quite cool. They're old ammunition bunkers. So nice. Yeah, they're still complete with the solid kind of 2-foot kind of doors on them. So they're always period pieces. Yeah. And we've also got an R&D facility on site as well, which is Adam's other company now, Electric Assisted Vehicles. Okay, and so as a sort of service, I've obviously went on the website, good looking website. I've got design, kit cutting, laminating, autoclave, trimming, assembly, finishing. So talk to us. Is there anything else? So let's talk about composites. So we've got a mutual connection in the form of Silverstone Composites and my good friend Marcus. Yep. So for those that aren't aware, what are composites and why are they so cool when it comes to things like F1 motorsport and fun stuff like that? So to put it kind of in simple terms, composites just means bringing 2 materials together. So composites kicked off kind of 80s or so. It just means bringing resin together with a fiber material as well. So that is a composite. That's evolved over the last kind of 40 odd years. And it's in an array of components now. It's in an array of sectors. So you're right, it was probably just known for being in kind of Formula 1 and motorsport, say 20 odd years ago. But now if you buy a high-end kind of Mercedes or kind of road car, 9 times out of 10 there's going to be some carbon trim on it, because like you said, it's just aesthetically pleasing. So yeah, but it goes far and wide. It's in so many sectors. It's in medical, it's in defense, it's in kind of rail, automotive, motorsport, aerospace. It's it's far and wide, and we cater for a few of those sectors in doing some very interesting projects. We've always tried to pride ourselves on the variety of work we do. We're not just a kind of automotive supplier that just supplies thousands off. We keep our guys entertained by giving them projects from here, there, and everywhere.
And are there any sort of current or previous projects you can share with our listeners and our viewers? Anything that's interesting or slightly different?
Nothing in particular that I can share, but we've worked on latest kind of motorsport machinery that have won kind of Le Mans this year.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I mean, to a layman, that's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, it's something that I always try and remind the lads of when they're kind of laminating parts. If a car finishes a certain race or is known or in the public eye for something, I like to trail it back to, look, we made that bracket or we made that front splitter, and then the guys actually physically can tie themselves to the end product.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing that. We had a very interesting project that kept us going through lockdown, which was all of the bodywork for a new electric truck made out of natural fiber. So that was a very interesting project.
And that's the Volta Truck.
Yes, yeah. So we manufactured all the external black coloured bodywork out of a natural fiber, which is something we've been working with for a good couple of years now, which is probably the forefront of composites, I'd say, moving forward. It's like a lot of subjects in this current day and age. People are looking at the sustainability of things. People are looking at the environmental impact on certain materials, and composites is no different, really. So we started working with flax probably end of 2018, when it became a regulation for the FIA GT4 regulations. So in terms of motorsport, a lot of manufacturers around the world will build cars to a certain technical regulations, so they can all go racing together. So GT4, GT3, and then in Le Mans, GTE Pro, GTE Am. So the FIA brought it in at their entry-level GT series that any aerodynamic device on a current GT4 car had to be made of a natural fiber. So that pushed people like us to learn how to work with flax. So that's what we've been doing. But the Volta project was a good subject. It fit with the ethos of the project, an electric truck that we hope to see driving around city streets in the not so distant future. It was only right, really, that the bodywork was made using the same kind of thought process.
No, it's good. And you obviously have done that during COVID. How have you guys found COVID? How's the team coped? And presumably you've got work coming in and you're busy.
Yeah. So we brought everyone back off of furlough during, I think, mid-June, July, when we pushed the button again and said, yeah, we're all going to be back in. We worked on a skeleton crew when the first lockdown hit. So that was anyone that could work from home did, but we had a small selection of staff within the departments so that everyone could still operate as they should, really. And that was at the height of the Volta project as well. So that was a good project to see us through.
Good. And you guys are fellow STC members, so that's the Silverstone Technology Cluster for those listening that haven't heard of it. So you guys joined the STC in 2019. Why did you join? How's it been? And why should others consider joining?
So I was originally put in touch with Pim through my wife, who works for another STC company, ZetaSafe, who are based in the Silverstone Park building. She put me in touch with Pim. Great character, very likable guy, and I just liked what the kind of cluster was about, really, bringing advanced kind of engineering companies together to not only work together, but then the services that they potentially offer. So no, it's a great organisation. It's a shame that we can't go to more face-to-face meetings this year, but
Yeah.
I'm sure those days will come in the not so distant future.
Yeah, and the annual conference, which is a few weeks away. That's a shame that's not live. Who's your wife? Does that have interest at Zeta?
It's Becky Hudson.
Ah, fine, okay. So yeah, Becky was involved in the schools project, the inspiration for innovation. Yeah, I went along and met. Yeah, so I met her a couple of times. So lovely lady, good. And from your workforce perspective, so your CV, you joined these guys, as you said, in 2012. So you were the first formal employee, and you joined as an apprentice, sort of cutting your teeth, learning, and now you're composites director. So over an 7-8 year period, you've gone from apprentice through to director. So first of all, that must be and feel pretty cool.
But
also as an employer, that's huge credit to them, and presumably you guys and you yourself now are mentoring others through the ranks.
Yeah, certainly. We've always kind of approached the subject of expanding the team by just as a motto that I like to use: employ the attitude and then teach the skill.
Sure.
Because you can't necessarily do it the other way around. So we went through the kind of CVs of more experienced guys coming from maybe Formula One teams that wanted to slow down a little bit, or coming from other kind of competitive composites firms. And the composites kind of world is still it's still handmade, it's still very much bespoke, and it's still a handmade craft.
Yeah.
And so the different kind of shops that people work at all do it slightly different ways. And we never really felt that we could input we wanted it done to someone that maybe had been doing it a certain way for 20 years. So we took the approach that we will just build our trainee program. We'll fire out trainee positions to kind of bolster the business. Find guys and girls that want to work hard, want to take pride in their work. They're kind of punctual. Their timekeeping's good. They want to just they want to enjoy work at the end of the day, and then we'll teach them how to make the kind of composite side of things. And it's worked great. We've got two out of our 3 team leaders all joined us 4 years ago on the kind of trainee program, and then themselves have trainees below them now. So it's a great kind of snowball effect, because everyone's invested in the business with the same kind of same values, that they can go wherever they want in the business. Really, there's no.
It sounds great, and you're a fantastic example of that, right? In that, work hard, keep your head down, and you will rise through the ranks.
Yeah, I try to lead by example, and I try to just kind of just listen wherever possible. Really, we've always said we hold kind of weekly meetings that include everyone within the whole team. And if a good idea comes from anyone within the business, whether you've been here 5 years or 5 weeks, a good idea is still a good idea. And people are made to feel valued like that. So no, I think we've got a really good foundation. We're looking to expand in the next year as well. So there'll be further trainee positions available, and hopefully we can just build on a good foundation that we've created.
Good. Are you personally sort of into motorsport? Is this something that you're you watch and that you follow?
Yes, yeah. So I'm more of a GT kind of guy as opposed to single seater Formula One.
Well, that was going to be my question. So what's your favourite series?
It's got to be WEC and Le Mans. I actually take a week's holiday from here every year, and I go and work at Le Mans for a team. So
oh wow,
that's a real back to basics kind of approach that I like. It means that I can kind of get my hands dirty again and fix things at the side of a racetrack.
So who's the team?
It's a Portuguese team called Algarve Pro Racing. So we finished 11th this year overall and 7th in class in the LMP2 class.
Well, what is the car?
It's an Orica. It's an Orica LMP2.
So I was going to say favourite race series. So we've got that. So favourite circuit?
So my favourite circuit is the one that I grew up closest to, which is Brands Hatch GP circuit, which is only used a handful of times throughout the year because of various noise complaints and various kind of other issues. So it's used for only the big ticket items. But no, Brands Hatch GP is the one for me.
Favourite driver?
Oh, that's a tricky one. That is a tricky one. I always liked Jenson Button in his Formula One days, and he's now stepped to the GT ranks. I felt potentially he was maybe the last of the old school racing drivers, where they were just there for the racing. They didn't care about the kind of sponsorship deals. They didn't care about wearing the right watch or wearing the right kind of fashion accessories. Yeah. Felt like he was just there for because he enjoyed it, and yeah, his GT team did well at the weekend at the 500.
So top guy as well. Apparently meant to be an absolute top chap.
Cool. I've never met him, so who knows? But never meet heroes, so maybe we'll keep that one to one side.
Right. Final two questions, Sam. So we're obviously in the middle of COVID. So, Pfizer announced recently vaccinations on its way, 90% success rate, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure their share price has benefited from that. Post-COVID, what are you personally looking forward to doing the most that perhaps you can't do at the moment?
It's got to be socialising with kind of family and friends. I think this year has just passed us all by. I think the majority of people are of the right kind of mindset that if we just hunker down for 1 year, hopefully all of our loved ones will be around for many more years to come. But yeah, it's got to be the kind of family parties, the weddings, the social aspect, I think.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I think there's going to be a shed load of parties and get-togethers, and everyone's going to be having a lot of holidays and doing a lot of traveling, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people will come out of it with a newfound zest for life, because suddenly we've had all these privileges that we took for granted taken away from us.
I would agree, Sam. That's 100% going to happen, definitely. Right, final question. And your career is going well when you get asked a question like this. This is the pinnacle of all questions that you're ever going to get asked, ever. In your capacity. Drum roll. Sam from BAMD. What is the king or even queen of crisps?
It's got to be McCoy's flame grilled steak. It's got to be.
Yeah, man after my own heart. No doubt about it. McCoy's, deep ridge, full of flavour, steak flavour. Absolutely. We've had some other great examples. We've also had some weird ones, from vegetable crisps to, we had a Pond Bears the other day from but actually Natalie McGloin, actually, so her interview's going live imminently. And but yeah, steak crisps, manly crisps, but yeah, very, very good. Sam Hudson from BAM, thank you so much for coming on the pod. It's been a sort of short, sharp, punchy episode, so thank you very much for coming on, explaining what composites are, explaining a little bit about BAM's history. We'll have lots of links in the show notes to the company website, and basically anything else, Sam, that you want us to include will be in the show notes, available on all the podcast apps and on YouTube. I wish you well, and look forward to obviously catching up in the future when, from an STC perspective, we're allowed to physically get together again and start networking.
Yeah, hopefully we can catch up over a free tea and coffee or break and roll at one of the STC events. But no, thanks for having us on. And like I said, if anyone's heard anything in the show that they want to know a bit more about, feel free to give us a call, hit us up on LinkedIn, and yeah, if not, come and see what we're about. Yeah, I think that's what I definitely want to come along and have a look at the military base. That sounds interesting. Yeah, it's used for a lot of filming. People might notice certain aspects from various different films. I think it was in World War Z. Wonder Woman was filmed. Part of Wonder Woman was filmed here last year, and they've just recently finished filming the next series of Pennyworth, which is like a DC kind of show on Amazon, down the bottom of the runway. And you certainly know when they're here, because they turn up in force. Yeah, I bet they do. Good, excellent, Sam. Thank you very much, sir. Take care. Brilliant. Thanks, Chris.
The Inside Silverstone podcast is produced by the team at Longhurst for the benefit of those with a passion for all things tech, engineering and innovation. For more information, please visit longhurst.co.uk/Inside Silverstone, whilst also remembering to give us a 5 out of 5 star rating on iTunes. Please note that neither Chris Broome or Longhurst work for Silverstone Park, Silverstone Circuit or Silverstone Technology Cluster.